So I think like from the very beginning, it was clear to us that getting your own Jamstack site was just the very first step. And you get the site, now there's a lot of customization work that you need to do. But even then, when you're done with the initial setup, now the actual work starts. This is where you start adding content on a regular basis, blog posts and making changes and testing things out. And depending on how much business you're looking to generate from your website, you're going to try a lot of things. You're going to add pages, you're going to try different landing pages, you're going to change the way you're talking about your product or your products, and you're just going to like have this way to communicate with people that are interested in your merchandise or your opinions, etc. So it was clear that that is the moment, right, where the site is born, right, and continues to grow. And one piece that was missing and is still missing from this like whole modern website architecture is that editors, right, who are not necessarily like super technical, just don't have an easy way to edit the websites. And all the setup, like the way this is built, is optimized for a really fast, secure site that delivers a great experience to the end user. But this is at the expense of even the build time, right? We're going to serve it to you faster, but it's good. There's going to be like a build time until we take the content, pour it into the site, do the build setup, and then put it on the CDN, right? All this process, it takes a bit longer. Now, coupled with the fact like as editor on the site, you have to validate what you're actually pushing out there. This becomes like really tedious and problematic because most CMSs, they are just content management systems. What they care about is what is the structure of the content, the best way to present it, what's the best way to consume it. And it's not necessarily about editing, right? You're editing something, but all the CMSs in the Jamstack we kind of tend to forget the headless. It's a headless CMS. It means it doesn't care about how the information is used and presented. And then setting up a preview is also, you have to like have your like set it up, right? Have your own server to pull the data from it and look at it, etc. And like a lot of people are foregoing that. And when they're foregoing that, you are in a place that forces you to be like, okay, I'm going to edit the content. I'm going to try to look at the page separately and try to understand where everything is. And then I'm going to make a change. I don't see it. I don't know if like the color that I've selected for this button really works with the whole site, or if now the tagline that I've chosen doesn't like span like 3 lines instead of the 2 that I hoped that it will. And then I'm like, okay, I'm forced to build, right? So, okay, so now I have to wait, right? I have to wait and I'm building. And if I don't have a preview, which often is the case, I'm actually building on production, right? And now my site is live with all these changes that I might not like. And then I'm running back, making a change. And I'm like, okay, I have a typo and I have to wait now for all like the 5, 10s and whatever, how many ever minutes until this is fixed. So it was pretty clear that this is like the next step, right? Making sure that the editor experience is not like stuck in the past, right? Where you're editing something that like is more like a form or a database or a PHP my admin, right? And then waiting for the result. You want something that you edit in place, and you can see the results. Those would not be published until you're ready, and then you hit publish, right? And nothing like that really existed because this architecture is not conducive to this type of interaction, right? So we had to invent how that works.